Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your daily dose of zombies news from the game and its community here on COD Zombies HQ. Thank you so much for tuning in today because we have a lot to talk about. So without further ado, let's kick things right off with our first story of the day. Ever since the release of Vanguard Zombies last week, this community has been in a state of turmoil. The mode isn't what a lot of players were hoping for, it's largely unfinished and underwhelming. This, of course, has caused a lot of players to ask Treyarch, guys, what exactly happened here, and what are some things that the team is focused on fixing in the future? Well, unfortunately, for now, officially, Treyarch has been radio silent on this issue, commemorating the release of the first Black Ops game 11 years ago and Cold War's DLC season, but any reference to Vanguard Zombies made by Treyarch hasn't been referenced by them since the hour the game released. Now, of course, I did get a kick out of kind of like the community's fantasy about how Treyarch will respond to Vanguard's release, where I think that's pretty well demonstrated by this thumbnail on fellow zombie YouTubers Mr. T Lexify's channel. But while obviously this is a fake tweet, the zombies community in some way feels a bit betrayed, and their current silence from just not talking about the mode isn't exactly helping. Or is it? Where today we did get the first mention about exactly how the team at Treyarch is responding to feedback about Vanguard Zombies, as well as kind of hoping to explain the way this mode has been developed from the developer's perspective. This was done through a series of tweets by a lead game designer over at Treyarch that worked a lot on Cold War Zombies specifically, Kevin Drew. Now you might recognize him, he was a big face during Cold War Zombies, featured in every season broadcast that Treyarch held about the Zombies mode on their channel. He wasn't in the reveal trailer for Vanguard Zombies, nor was he in any of the interviews Treyarch did prior to Vanguard Zombies release, which makes me think that he might not have been directly involved with the development of the Vanguard Zombies mode, but he does provide a good perspective about what the Zombies dev team went through when making Vanguard Zombies, where he said this: video game development is complex, just like any entertainment industry. It's very rare that a single individual is responsible for the success of a game. It takes many talented people to create something special. This comment seems to be in pretty much direct response to the idea that ever since Jason Blundell, the former Zombies and studio head over at Treyarch, left, the soul and passion behind the COD Zombies mode left with him. While Kevin here is pointing out that while a single individual may be influential in the game's development, a game mode like Zombies is made by a team of people, and the influence and work of that team is far more important than any individual on it. He continues by saying, even with an amazing team, there are circumstances beyond their control that can impact the game. Development time, budget, and meeting consumer demands, to name a few. Ultimately, that should not matter to a person playing the game. And it's interesting he mentions those points because these are some of the concerns we had over the development of Vanguard Zombies. We know that the mode likely wasn't given its full development time that it needed to be a success. We can't really comment on the budget of the game mode. We know that the budget to produce Zombies content was reduced heavily in the past during Black Ops 4's DLC season. Can't really comment about that right now. And they also say meeting consumer demands, which seems to me like Treyarch's rationalization for trying to switch Zombies away from round-based to more objective-based gameplay that we see in Daran Fang. They believe that that fits the consumer demand for co-op gameplay in this game more strongly. I would personally disagree with that, as I'm sure many of you out there do as well, but he's basically saying here that sometimes we don't get 100% creative control over what we make. He continues, as the consumer, as the player, it's their right to play it and form an opinion, negative or positive, and voice that. What troubles me is when people claim that developers have no passion for the game they work on. This could not be farther from the truth. With the disaster release of Vanguard Zombies, I have seen people in the community saying that the developers just have no passion for this game mode anymore. They just don't care anymore. And that obviously, just by looking at the game, isn't true. As Kevin, someone on the inside who directly works with the people making the mode and makes the mode himself, will testify to. The devs at Treyarch, and specifically the Zombies team, I think have always been some of the most passionate heart and soul people people throughout any of the studios that work on Call of Duty, and it's in part due to that passion that I think we can look forward to Treyarch trying to turn this thing around in the future, which seems like exactly what they're working on doing right now, collecting feedback about the mode itself. Where Kevin says, in response to the large negative reception that the Vanguard Zombies mode is getting, having gone through that many times over the years, they are likely taking that criticism the hardest, the criticism that they just don't care anymore, as they reflect on the unique challenges of that project and how they can do better. Regardless of the circumstances, we always want people to enjoy the things we make, and it seems like Kevin Drew is in part helping with that process when he responded to a tweet by fellow Zombies YouTuber TGR by saying that Blundell didn't make zombies. Treyarch made zombies and still does make zombies. Kevin responded with this gif and said that this is my face trying to interpret the comments of an entire community, which is a diverse group of people with conflicting opinions. It's just part of the job, which confirms to me that yes, the team at Treyarch is looking at the feedback to the Vanguard Zombies mode. They have been radio silent ever since the release of the mode, but I assume that sometime soon we will get a direct response from Treyarch as to the status of the mode right now and where they intend to help fix it and take it going forward. I don't think it'll be to the level of Mr. T-Lexify's thumbnail, but it's likely a official full response to the release of this game mode is coming in some form. Next up, Cryptails over on Twitter shows off he might have discovered the hidden Vanguard Zombies boss fight on Red Star. That's obviously a joke, but for some reason in his game, absolutely massive amount of Stormkrieger boss zombies spawned in all at once on round 12. This definitely made his zombies match look more like 20 versus 20 Dome in Vanguard's multiplayer rather than Call of Duty Zombies, but I do assume that whenever Treyarch is done with and releases their main Easter egg for Vanguard Zombies, the Stormkriegers will be playing a role in that Easter egg or even the boss fight of the mode, so this might be a nice little primer for that. Next up, in a major issue that now does affect the Zombies mode as well, as all Zombies matches, co-op and solo are played via dedicated servers, players have been experiencing some major connection issues today. Sledgehammer saying about these issues that we're aware some players are experiencing server connectivity issues in Vanguard, and we're investigating the cause. We will provide an update as soon as possible. So if you do decide to hop in game today and get disconnected, this is why, and hopefully it'll be fixed sometime soon. But guys, that does wrap up the news today. I want to thank you so much for watching. Hey, if you did enjoy it, consider hitting that thumbs up button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now that we know that Treyarch is definitely paying attention to the community's feedback about this mode, things are about to get far more interesting with the release of their first patch update very, very soon, and I can't wait to share the details of that with you guys when it drops. But I want to thank you again for watching, and I'll see you with another Zombies news update tomorrow. Peace.